Welcome back to Budget Freedom, another budgeting series video that I'm doing here, showing you my budget workbook and how to do a step-by-step budget from scratch or to improve the budget that you already have. I have shown you before in a previous video, but I'll show you again. This is my budgeting workbook. It's 101 pages long. You can download it from my website and just put it into any color binder that you like. In the future, I will be producing them on a spiral format, but for now, it's available immediately for you to go ahead and get started today. The book is $24.99 on my website, but there are a lot of other free downloads there that you can also go ahead and grab if you're not ready for the workbook. But I recommend you getting the workbook because it's $2.08 a month, and it is really going to jumpstart your budgeting so that you can jump right into it, start saving, getting on track, and building your wealth and getting out of debt. So please, before we continue, please like and subscribe and hit the bell notification so you know when my next videos come out. And please write down in the comments what you think. If you have any questions, I'm open to helping anybody that is that needs help. I have been doing this over 15 years. I am a bookkeeper by trade, so I do work with companies and people. I've been doing it for over 15 years. So there's a lot that I can help you with and teach you if you're interested. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera down now so that you can see what I'm going to be working on the table, and we'll get right into it. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to show you, this is not actually in the workbook, but it is a free download on my website, so you can go ahead and download it, or you can make your own if that's what you want. It's what I call our budget sorter. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and first start sorting our budget out. We want to identify what are urgent bills, what are really important bills, and then what are not so important bills, maybe things that we could either scale down on or remove from the budget. The whole goal of doing this is getting your budget skinny, as I like to say, getting it down, not completely bare bones, but maybe as bare bones as you could, so that you can rebuild it the way you want to build it. Because a lot of people, what we do, and we've all done it, I've done it, is we fall into the trap of allowing society and allowing our companies to dictate our budget. You know, you need a house, you need a phone contract, you need a car, you need. And we fall into that trap so quickly out of college that it's very hard for us to take a step back and actually get out of it and change it to what we want to be as adults now. If you thought today, if you were getting out of college today, you are completely debt-free and you were starting your job, how would you want to design your budget? I think that is the question that we need to ask ourselves. And then obviously, depending on your situation, you're going to have to work on it. You're going to have to slowly change things and save and pay off in order to redesign your budget. But it's possible. And in order to do that, I think the first thing we need to do is start identifying things. So I'll just go ahead and do a scenario here because I have been living debt-free for over 8 years and budgeting 15 years. So my budget is pretty bare bone now. I've already got it set up most of the way that I want it. I don't know if you could ever say that your budget is 100% set up correctly because things are always changing. You always have new desires, new goals. So it's always a work in progress. But I don't have much to shed in my budget right now. So I'm going to do maybe the budget that I had 8 years ago, kind of a budget, and give you ideas of how you can separate your budget. Okay, so let's put on in the first circle, let's put this, call this maybe our need oval. Okay, this is what we need. This is what we have to have. All right, and then these are optional. My eye doesn't want to show that. Okay, so this is going to be our optional side, and this is going to be our need side. Okay, a need is obviously rent or mortgage. Okay, a need is water, electricity. Sorry for my writing, guys. I'm just trying to go a little bit faster here so that you can, so I don't bore you to death with this. Food, is definitely a need, okay? This kind of overlaps into optional because with food, you can easily overspend. So we'll talk about that just now, but it is definitely a need. We do need to feed ourselves. You're going to have, travel expenses. When I say travel, not everybody has a car. You might take the bus or the train. So travel falls under that category. If you have petrol or bus tickets or whatever that you need to put in, that is your travel. Then you might have a car payment, okay, or 2 or 3 car payments depending on the size of your family. When me and my husband were working before, we had 2 cars. Now we only have 1. So back then, that was something that we had to deal with. You're obviously going to have all your credit card debt depending on how many of those you have. They are definitely not a need, but until they are paid off, they do go in the need column because they need to be paid off. You'll have, any loans. You might have student loans. You might have personal loans, okay? All that credit, unfortunately, right at this point is a need because it is not optional as far as paying it every month, okay? Let's just see if I missed any other needs. Insurances, and I'm talking about insurances, life insurance, health insurance, car insurance, all those insurances here. They're definitely a need, guys. Don't ever compromise on insurance. One thing my mom always told me was, I will pay my life insurance and I will pay my medical insurance before I buy food. And it seems a bit extreme, but my mom did die from cancer at a very young age. And if she had not done that, we wouldn't have had the little bit of money that we did get to bury her and to take care of my younger sisters. So you never know what's going to happen. And I don't mean to paint a dark picture on anything, but you don't know what is going to happen in life. So be prepared and cover those kind of expenses and take them seriously because it's an insurance policy for your whole family and their futures and your kids if you have. So those are insurances. Those are definitely needs, okay? Obviously, this list can go on depending on your family. I don't want to try to think of every possible item that could go in that column. I just want to give you an idea. Okay, when we move over to optional now, you might be surprised, but the TV subscription is optional. Netflix or whatever it is you're using is optional. Okay, internet, I would put internet as a need. For most people because these days that's how we live and work and connect to everything. But this one again could go over to the optional side. Why I say that is you might be able to downgrade your plan. So it is optional to the point where you can downgrade your plan. All right. The same goes for Netflix. You can downgrade your Netflix, your cable TV or satellite TV, whichever it is that you're subscribed to. Any subscriptions. We talk about this a lot, and if you follow me on Instagram or on Facebook or anybody else, you'll probably see a lot of people speaking about subscriptions. Subscriptions are optional. And the bad thing about subscriptions is a lot of people subscribe to things and then they forget to unsubscribe even when they're not using them anymore. So always go through your subscriptions and really evaluate it and decide, is this something that I absolutely need, that I'm absolutely going to use every day? To better my life and to improve my budget. If it's not anything that is going to add value to your budget or to your life, go ahead and stop it, okay? Downgrade your Netflix if you're not watching everything. Downgrade your TV. If you're only watching 30 channels, call your TV provider and tell them, I want these channels, what can you offer me? You'll be surprised how quickly they can come up with creative ideas and offer you solutions if you call up and tell them that you're thinking about switching or closing your account. You don't need to be rude, be polite, be kind, talk to the people. That's another video. I'll talk about negotiating. But you can really get yourself a lot of deals. You might even get 6 months free TV if you go ahead and call. And do that on all your subscriptions and all your bills, even your utilities, and especially your insurances. Shop them around, call and ask for better deals, better discounts. Don't just accept the prices that you have. There's so many companies out there willing to give you discounts or offers to get your business. So shop it around and save yourself money. Every 20, 30 bucks you can save yourself can go towards a debt, can go towards an emergency savings fund, can go towards so many other things. So, get on board and start shopping around and start cutting your expenses down. Other optional things is obviously eating out, okay? Going out, if you go out a lot, Food, I said, was optional. Food, With food, if you're not doing meal planning, which is planning your meals every week and having a set shopping list, you can easily overspend because you go to the shop, you're hungry, you think maybe you're going to make something, you buy all the ingredients, the week goes by, you don't use the ingredients, maybe some of them go bad. Food is just a huge, huge waster. So even though food is a need, it is optional how much you spend on food. Also, there are a lot of ways to buy bulk to save money on food. You can buy from farms, you can buy from co-ops, you can buy things like meat or dairy in bulk. You can buy vegetables in bulk and freeze them. So we'll talk more about meal planning in other videos, but definitely look at your food. Look at meal planning your food. I have a lot of posts and ideas on meal planning on my Instagram account, and see how you can cut your food costs down. Another thing that has really, really worked for our family is I go shopping twice a week. Once a week for all main purchases for the house for food. So I have my set shopping list and I go shopping for that once a week. And then I only go one more time in the week for fresh vegetables. And that saves us a lot of money. And I have an app I use Out of Milk. That's what the app is called. And I have all my shopping items listed in there. It adds it up for me, tells me my shop total. I know exactly how much I'm going to spend. And when I buy the same products the following week, I spend the same amount, and it's really easy to budget. And if there's a change that needs to be made, I can make the change very quickly. And again, update my amount that I'm going to spend, adjust if I'm spending too much. And it really helps save money and keeps me within my food budget every month. Because you will be surprised if you start keeping track of how much you spend on food, how much you actually go over with food. So that's a definite thing to watch out for. Optional, guys, you like my nails? Ladies, should I say actually? Nails. Do your nails at home. Okay, that's optional. Guys, a haircut, please keep getting your haircut. That's definitely a need if you're a guy or a woman. Don't cut your own hair, guys. And ladies. So, okay, haircut can go in the need column, all right? But nails, any other beauty treatments that you could do at home, do those at home. Clothing is definitely optional. You don't need to buy clothing every month. I know we want to, but you don't need to. And again, the list can go on for quite a long time, on this side. So gadgets, shopping online for different things, impulse buying, these are all optional things. So you really want to first separate your budget out like this so that you can see, all right, this is my skinny budget. This is what I need. This is what I have to pay every month, or I'm going to have a problem with something or somebody. This I don't have to have. It's things that I can either cancel, downgrade, or skip. And that will make your budget really clear and put it in perspective for you. Depending on how much you make, if you make a lot of money, obviously you'll have more options. If you're on a lower budget, like I have been for most of my life, a lot of these optional things you're going to have to pick and choose between. And just like I said in the beginning of the video, really think, if you were graduating today from school and you had absolutely no debt, how would you want to design your budget? What would be your goal? So make your need list as small as possible so that you can have as much money left over as possible to start canceling out those credit cards and canceling out that student loan and those personal loans, and start working on paying off that mortgage and paying off that car. When you start paying off all that debt, it's called using a debt snowball. So what you do is you pay the lowest bill that you have until it's finished with the highest interest rate. And then when that bill is paid off, you take that monthly payment and you add it to the next bill, the next debt payment. And as you pay things off, you have more money available to pay more debt off faster. And after that is done, all your debt is paid off. You can pay it off very, very quickly. And then you can start using that money, first of all, to save for your emergency fund. What an emergency fund is, just quickly, is it's 6 months, 3 to 6 months of your salary. So for in case you get fired or anything happens, you and your family will be okay for 6 months. I'll go ahead and put the video up here so you guys can see me now, actually. So you can pay off your emergency fund, and then you can start building wealth. You can start investing. You can start saving money, putting money into your 401ks, your retirement funds, your IRAs if you have, buying stocks on the stock market. You can invest in property, which is my passion. There's a lot of things that you can do to grow your wealth, for not only for you, but for your children and for your family in the future. So that is the point of this whole video. Get your budget sorted into needs and optional items. Get your budget skinny. Put it on a diet, guys. Make sure that you are paying what you need to get paid and using as much of the extra money that you have left over to pay off debt and save at the same time, so that you can start redesigning your budget to be the budget that you always wanted it to be, the budget that you didn't get a choice of creating when you were very young and out of college and saddled with student debt and needed a place to live and a car to drive, and you needed credit because you weren't earning enough money and you needed to buy food. And that's reality, and we can't feel bad about that. That is society failing us. That's not us failing. So all that you need to do now is realize, all right, I lost that fight, but I'm going to win the next fight because I'm going to correct everything. I'm going to go study what I did wrong. I'm going to fix it, and I'm going to win the championship. And the championship is life in your budget. So guys, please, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you get notifications of more videos that I put out. Please put comments in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have, give some advice or guidance, and follow me on Instagram or Facebook, whatever you prefer. All right, till I see you next time. Thank you. Bye, guys.